Okay, so what's up, everybody? What's up? This is Angela. And I had something come to mind. I wanted to come and share with everybody, but I'm going to give everyone some time to step into the room and then we can get into the conversation. Okay, so what's up, everybody? What's up? This is Angela on the Original Woman Sphere channel, and I wanted to come and talk to everyone about the wall. I was taking some notes on the wall because I heard some commentary that kind of inspired me to come on here today. And one of my initial responses to the wall was the erectile dysfunction. But when I started to think about age and how we grow and how it affects us as women, I started to feel a certain level of relay and the race. You know, there's this race that you feel as a much younger woman that you don't necessarily feel the more you mature, the more you age, the more you grow, more things you go through, more experiences you have, more situations you curve, more situations you master. You learn a level of maturity that there isn't this instinct to run, there isn't this instinct for a race. Hit the like button on your way in, everyone. Hit the like button. There's an instinct in younger women that has a sense of urgency behind it. And I think that that sense of urgency is often reflected in bad decision making. The sense of urgency propels you to make decisions a little bit quicker than you would necessarily do. And a lot of times when you make decisions quicker than you would necessarily do, you don't have, especially with age, at a younger age, you don't have all of what you need as far as when it pertains to experience to make that decision. You often don't have it. But once you enter, late 30s, 40s, 50s, when you become a mature woman, that expectation of a race to do it fast, to make the decision, to accomplish it, to appease the masses should be gone. And that energy should reflect amongst all of your relationships, whether it be a friendship, whether it be a relationship, whether it be anything, it should reflect. That energy should reflect the need not to race, the need not to rush, the need not to propel yourself into situations that you aren't exactly sure about. So as I was thinking about the wall and how it's been explained as this detrimental place that you'll end up at where you won't be chosen, there will be no more layers of validation. You know, basically the way that it was explained as if It's a horrible place to end up at. But let's think about it. It's actually one of the most serene places to end up. Because once you get to the wall, there's supposed to be a relay. But even the relay can be controversial. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. Once you get to the wall, there's a perception and there's a view of experience. You have all this experience behind you. You have all of this leverage behind you to win at life. Because, see, when you first start, the layers that you use to win at life is the youth, your youth. Those are the layers that you use, that gusto, that I have it all in me. You know, what they tell young people when they're young, they say, oh, you have your whole life ahead of you, which is a lie, but that's the perception. But nobody knows when that time is up. So that's technically a lie. You never know if you have your whole life ahead of you until you get to that later half. And this is what makes the later half so significant to the first half. The first half is you gaining the momentum, gaining all the experience, gaining all the circumstances, bruising your knees, bruising your elbows, making those, and then sometimes repeating, becoming a repeat offender. Oftentimes, the more places you'll see people become repeat offenders is in relationships. Relationships have a tendency to blind. So when you get to that wall, there's a look back that gives you all of what you need to look forward. You've made it to that middle part of life that gives you everything you need to propel yourself on a much more educated, broader, unpressed, unrushed scale. And the bad part about women who get to that wall with all of this behind them is when they don't use it. That is when it becomes very tragic. Hit the like button on your way in, y'all. Hit the like button. So when we talk about the wall, let's talk about it from a woman's perspective and not the perspective of the insignificant. Because if you are at a mature age where you are actually facing that wall, the insignificant is anybody outside of you, right? So how they project that wall and how they project the wall and how it determines where you are in life, what you will receive in life, how you will be received in life, and how you will be respected in life doesn't even matter. Because once you get to the wall of a mature woman, the validation lies within you. It should lie within you. Now, we know all of this information prior to this wall on the first leg of life. We know that validation is only how we feel about ourselves. We know that. But without the experience, without the circumstances, without the trials, without the tribulations, a lot of times you can put a little bit more optimism on things than what you should. But see, now that you have arrived at this wall, you don't get to place all that optimism onto similar circumstances. That is when we all expect more out of you. That is when we all say, hey, we understand the familiar feelings the familiar settings. We understand that because, like I said before, the biggest time to see someone become a repeat offender is when it involves falling in love or romantic liaisons. That is the biggest time you can see someone become a repeat offender, when it is matters of the heart. Hit the like button, y'all, on the way in. Hit the like. Matters of the heart is when you will see someone become a repeat offender. But like I said, once you know better, you do better. You may still have the same apprehensions. You may still have the same feelings. You may still have the same energy, everything. It may all still resemble exactly what you felt on that first leg. But because you have the experiences, the excuses are no longer valid. It's almost, let's talk about it from a work perspective. If you've been on your job for 20 years, you are not understood for making the same mistakes you made as a new hire. See, when you were a new hire, they understood those mistakes. They gave you room for those mistakes until you could learn the program, until you can learn what you needed to do to be successful within that position. Until you learn that, then the job and the company that you work for has a little bit of leeway for what and how they address you while you're learning all this new programming. But 20 years in, they aren't going to give you that same grace to make those mistakes that affects everyone around you. So when we talk about the wall in your 40s should be more of a serene place, because now you realize there's no more room to run. You've learned enough. You've learned enough to know no more risk. No more risks should be taken. See, when you take a risk, you should take a risk for all the most valuable reasons. A risk should be taken because you are stepping outside of your typical level of thinking, and it's going to bring you something better. That's why a risk should be taken once you get to that second leg. It should be taken because you believe that you are going to receive something better for taking this risk. It's almost like, when you go to a doctor tells you, I'm giving you this medication because, the risks outweigh. I'm giving you this medication. Excuse me, I meant to say it like this. I'm giving you this medication. It may have these side effects, but you taking this risk is more significant than you being unwell. So it is the same way you should view risk taking at a point in age of no more running, no more racing. Any risk you take in life as a mature woman, as a woman that has arrived at that wall, the only risk that should be taken is if you can almost guarantee that you'll come out better for that risk on the other side. Hit the like button, everyone, on your way in. Hit the like button. That is literally the only reason, because the race is over. The race is done. The race is over. It is over. You are no longer 19. You are no longer 20, 25, 26. So anytime anything presents itself in your life as a risk, once you are at that wall, it should be access denied. Period. You have no more room to understand. You have no more room to make sense out of things. You have no more room to try and see what it is and what it ain't. You have no more room. You have no more room. The wall is there. So we talking about the wall from a woman's perspective. We're not talking about the wall from the insignificant, which is men. We're not talking about their definition of a wall. We're talking about a woman's definition of a wall. And the risk you take, by understanding buffoonery, by making sense of baggage, by opening yourself to a situation that could potentially place you in a position to not win. Any risk you take should place you, once we have arrived at that wall, in a position to win. Because any risk you take that puts you on the lesser, you don't have time on your hands like that no more. You don't have time on your hands like that no more. And as beautiful as it may seem, everybody else around you doesn't have the time to see a woman that should be done with her race taking risks that may put her in a position to not win. Hit the like button on your way in, everyone. Hit the like. It is a sad reality. It is a really, really sad reality. It is a sad reality that I think a lot of women don't digest, don't take in, don't think about. And see, here's where the relay steps in at. The relay steps in because a relay is putting you in a position to pass the baton. You should be in that position to pass the baton, right? But this is the thing about passing the baton as Black women. Hit the like button on your way in, everyone. Hit the like. The older I get, I don't know how beautiful that baton looks to pass back to Black women. Women in general, the baton you are passing back in your relay with other women is warnings. Warnings. Because that is the world we live in as women. So the baton that you are extending back to other women, unfortunately, is a lot of, please don't do this. Please don't do that. Please. It comes with a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. The baton is full of pain. Please don't make these mistakes. Please. And oftentimes, you will go unheard in your opportunity for relay if you are still the woman receiving the baton. You should not be the woman still receiving the baton. You shouldn't. You should not. You should have had enough bumps, bruises. So unfortunately, for Black women, oftentimes there is no opportunity for relay. Because how is there opportunity for relay when there are no good decisions to be made on the behalf of combining a Black woman and a Black man in relationships? Where is the opportunity for relay? Oftentimes, there is no opportunity. It's full of pain. And because it's full of pain, a young woman in her prime and in her essence, in her optimism, is going to view you as a naysayer. She's not going to believe you in the prime of her life. Unfortunately, that relay is going to fall on deaf ears. In the first position, she's still racing. She's still in a race. It's going to fall on deaf ears. She's not going to hear what you have to say. So Black women oftentimes don't have a position to be put in relay. But what's more aggravating is to be in relay with other women who should be in relay as well. And this is a circular statement. We are at this wall. We are all looking at each other. We've arrived. We done seen Tyrone. We done seen Jethro. We done had anchor babies. We done made mistakes. And did all that. But somehow, somebody still got to be in relay with your overgrown ass. And for Black women, that is a very frustrating position to be in. Hit the like on your way in, hit the like. It's frustrating. That's when those murky waters start to arise in sisterhood. This is what makes it utterly impossible for sisterhood to exist. Because when you are at those walls and your relay is going in a circle to women who should be on relay as well, and then you are looking back behind you at the other young women full of optimism and stars in their eyes being tripped by older women who are at the wall, but because they're at the wall and they're actively in situations where they can't pass a relay back. They can't. How can they pass a relay back when they are currently still in the race? They're still in the race. They're still in the running. So what relay can they pass back? What can they give back? That will be telling on themselves. That will be awakening to their own reality. And if you've dealt with Black women in friendship, the first thing you learn is reality, pointing out reality is the quickest way for the sisterhood to become of demise. It's the quickest way. So unfortunately, what happens is women that are supposed to be in the position of relay are looking back saying, just stick in there, just stay in the race. Young sister, stay in the race. You will be all right. You just gotta see. You just gotta see. You just gotta struggle. You just gotta cry a little bit more. You just gotta deal with his family. You gotta deal with what he needs. You gotta deal with all his circumstances. You just gotta stay in the race. When the race should be wrapped the fuck up. The race, you should have won by now. When I say won, it's almost like that saying, no weapons formed against me shall prosper. But when we say no weapons formed against you will prosper, we also say it don't mean the weapons won't form. So when you are at that wall, those weapons are still going to form. Hit the like button on your way in, hit the like. They will still form. But it is the way you deal with them that separates the optimism from the indifference. See, the optimism is when you was on that first leg of the race. Ooh, you optimistic then. Then you just ease on to a way of becoming pessimistic a little bit. You know, that's that okay, this is getting annoying. This is just aggravating me. I'm a little bit bitter. And then you sail on into indifference. See, that's how you slide on into that wall with indifference. You slide into that wall of indifference. But one of the most tragic circumstances is to remain in a sisterhood of women. And I've said this before, countless videos, of women who want to live a lie with a derelict male and want you to promote it right along with them. It is the most tragic situation to be in. In my community wall, I posted a saying, and I know all Black women understand this. So don't get to getting personal and in your feelings. There is absolutely a tragic circumstance of all sisterhoods, one way or the another, with a Black man involved. And we have seen it happen to ourselves. We've seen it happen to others. We've seen it happen in so many different situations. So that's where the relay gets twisted. Right when you ease into that layer of your life where you ain't supposed to be racing for shit no more. Them weapons, like I said, they gonna form. They gonna form. Them weapons is going to form. But if your friend can't tell you, girl, that man, and you got all the red flags. Nobody's saying you just gotta listen to, you got all the red flags. Your friend wouldn't know nothing about these red flags if it weren't for you. And your friend tells you all these red flags, girl, I think you need to let that go. And your decision is to let your friend go, No more relays. So this is why you get to that place. The blockage of the no more relays is because the sisterhood is all that and then some until it becomes time for you to be held accountable for a maker. For extremely bad decision making that can affect me, my peace, and my sanity just by way of dealing with you, just by way of communicating with you. Men have been problematic in friendships for years because men automatically know their biggest competition is that best friend, that good friend that ain't going nowhere, that's going to send her flowers on her birthday, take her out to eat, buy her nice gifts, the friend that don't care about breaking bread when they go out to eat, paying on them trips, paying for her to go to Miami. Hey, sis, we about to go to Miami. Girl, I got us some tickets. These men know the biggest competition is the best friend. Hit the like button on your way in. These men know that it is no amount of money a woman won't spend if she got it on her best friend. And we ain't talking about these fake ones. We talking about real friends. If she got it, she will spend it. Women, when they are friends, they do stuff like that for each other all the time. They spend money with each other. They take each other on trips. They do nice things for each other. They do each other's hair. They do each other's makeup. They listen to each other cry. They sit up all night long and talk to them on the phone. Women provide emotional stability for each other in their friendships. This is why the triangulation is always amongst the women. It prevents things, especially the women who are at the wall. What that prevents is the relay. Do you see where I'm going with this? All the triangulation prevents the relay. It prevents the exchange. It keeps it in a circular motion to where all of us that have arrived at the wall in different manner, it's difficult to look back on the young ladies that deserve the relay credentials and jewels because the women that are lined up with us at this wall from a woman's perspective are still having to be passed a relay and a baton as well. So there is no assistance and no aid. There's a lot of combative behavior. It's a lot of combativeness. Combativeness. So you can't even, this is oftentimes where you see groups of women that have arrived, right? Have arrived at that wall from a woman's perspective and constant turmoil with each other, arguing, fussing, fighting, falling out, da 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 da. Because women of that age are annoyed at the fact that they are still in a relay of women in their age group. I think we would much more prefer to be in a relay with younger women who much more need the information outside of your overgrown ass. So because the baton is now being passed from side to side instead of to the back during this relay, there's a lot of arguments, there's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of falling out, all of that. So, unfortunately, There are no more relays. I think what's happening, and I think why the younger women, the younger women feel as if older Black women don't care about them. Older Black women are messy. Older Black women, don't give them good advice. Let's think about the ones that are in a position to give them advice. If they are giving them advice, it's from a very toxic place. More than likely, it's because they're still dealing with a lot of the stuff that they dealt with. They're still in the race right along with this young girl, which is why it may seem and view and appear and come off as competition. Because if you still in the race and you still running, the person next to you is your competition. She's your competition. But when you out of that race, how's that even competition? How? All of that stuff circles back to the energy of the sisterhood. And what we present as women from a woman's perspective, like I said before, at the wall, all of what we're giving, all of what we're presenting is not a good look. You just got to think about it. A woman that's in a toxic, will accept anything, lame position just because she needs love, just because she needs consoling, just because she needs a hug, just because she needs these things. It's only so much. It's going to be very rare that you bump as a young woman in the race still and to a woman that may be even in a toxic situation herself and still offer you something different. And I'm telling you, even if she offers you something different, because of the way the race and the relay is set up, you still are going to view her as competition, or you're going to view her as somebody you shouldn't listen to because she hasn't been successful in the race that you're running. So since she has not been successful in the race that you're running at her big old age, then you're going to still come with that. What can you tell me? You can't tell me nothing. You still doing the same stuff that I'm doing. And you older than me. And you doing this. And you doing that. Because when somebody is in a race with you and they are on the side of you and they are doing all the same things as you, even if they come from a good place, even if they really are giving it to you from a good place, they can have all the right intentions. The fact of the matter is they're still in a race. Do y'all see where I'm going with this? Hit the like button. Do y'all see where I'm going with this? Because they are still in the race socially, that automatically disqualifies. It gives you an instant disqualification. How can you tell me what to do and you're still trying to succeed where I'm currently at and you're double my age? Is what you will always get, because that's what you will always get, what you always got. You're still in the race, not in a position in the mind of the person that's in the race to pass me no baton. I don't want your baton. I want the baton of the woman that's already completed the race and she already done. You made it by, like, how did you just got here because of your age. You got a participation reward. You got a participation in the struggle. You still participating in the struggle. You've shown up here with your participation reward. You don't have any sportsmanship, and you're a sore loser. Absolutely not, Miss Ma'am. I won't be taking your advice. I want to take the advice of the lady that really won. She scored out. Unfortunately, that's what it is. And I hate to tell you this, but everybody around you, they sick of giving you your participation award too. They sick of doing it too. Everybody is tired of giving you, yeah, you did get there by way of your age, but ma'am, Miss Lady, nobody wants to continuously keep giving these participation rewards. We want to put ourselves in a position to gracefully extend the baton, even with trial and error, even with experience. The thing is, we cannot currently be doing what we were doing to win the race. Once again, the weapons will form, but they can't be able to prosper. You got to be able to recognize the weapons when they're forming, run it over a good girlfriend, talk about it, break it apart, figure it out, and be like, yeah. And also, stop blocking out the words of the woman passing the baton to you on the side of you. She can't pass you no words, and you sending it right back. You sending it right back. That is another layer of ending up at this wall from a woman's perspective that is annoying and catastrophic for the sisterhood. If you don't trust me to tell you he ain't worth shit, you don't trust me to make a decision based off of all the red flags you've given me, I don't want to keep giving you your participation reward for bullshit just because you at a Jurassic Park age. I don't want to keep doing that. Lying to you makes me feel bad about myself. Perpetuating and living the lie that you choose to live for yourself because you're afraid of running a race in totality and completing it and not just participating, but actually doing the work. Now you've put me in a position to live a lie with you. Those relationships no longer cut it once we are done with the race. Now we are at a position where we know if they form, they don't get to prosper. Now we are at a position to know when our family is saying, "Ooh, nope, no, girl, did you see that?" See, now we at a place to where if they do something and we talk about it and you say, "Girl, that's dumb," then it's just dumb. We're not at the position to make excuses for the dead. You get what I'm saying? Because see, making excuses for the dead might do what? Make you be dead. Now you dead. You're dead spiritually. You're dead in confidence. You're dead in self-esteem. You're dead in trusting yourself. You're dead in respecting your friends and what they got to say to you, knowing that they love you, knowing that they want what's best for you. You're dead in all that. You done just completely obliterated anything they got to say, and it does not matter to you because this is what you wanted to do. Dead. What's good for you is no longer what's good for you. Participation reward. Participation rewards giving out relays to continue the process of a participation reward ass bitch. Arriving there with no big girl panties on, you still gotta depend on holding up your shit and holding up your piss. You ain't potty trained. You ain't connected. You ain't. You don't even want to hear the tragedy. When you hear the tragedy, then now you're in some weird flex. The tragedy is there. There are no good decisions. We as women at the wall, from a woman's perspective, once again, I'm going to drive that home. At the wall, we the people, we the women, we know there are very little good decisions to be made when it comes to these men. We know that by now. We know that by now. Hit the like button on your way and hit the like. We know that. It's a daunting reality. It's scary. Listen, by now though, should have came to terms with it. 2023 is a soft year. If I have to literally not indulge myself, like I said, the weapons, they gonna form. They are going to form. If the sisterhood ain't sistering, I'm good. Because see, when those weapons form, is when the sisterhood is like, yeah, girl, you see him trying it? Yeah, girl, I see that. Girl, don't fall for that. You know what, sis, you right. Thank you for that. Appreciate you. When we gonna get there? When we gonna get there instead of you don't want to see me happy, or instead of the falling on deaf ears, I done told you what it is because you told me what it is and fall on deaf ears. So now everybody got to deal with the stupid motherfucker because that's what you want to do. When we gonna get to the point to where if you dealing with stupid motherfuckers, I don't want to deal with you? It's a soft year. It's a soft life. We have arrived at that wall, ladies. Soft year, soft life. It can be so simple, but you rather make it hard. Loving Black women is like a battle. We both end up in scars. That is what it is. Because see, when you bring your toxic nature full of excuses and you force everyone to accept because you don't feel comfortable with what you're doing, let's be very clear about what it is. You ran the race only to be tired for nothing. You tired for every reason but physicality and sportsmanship. You tired for all the wrong reasons. You ain't tired because you actually put in the work and you actually stuck to your guns. You're not tired for those things. You're not tired because you're being honest with your friends about whatever situation you in, so we don't have to see you on Black femicide. You ain't tired for the reasons that you should be tired for. You tired for situations that you didn't have to deal with, but you did it anyway. And because you lied so much about how good the motherfucker was, now you black femicide. Because you didn't want to listen to your family, because you didn't want to listen to your friends, because you wanted to prove everybody wrong. Like I said, when the baton is stuck. Young black women, you want to know why you aren't seeing the representation of black women that you want to see in this age group? Is because the baton is still stuck, amongst us. We're still passing it from side to side with each other because nobody wants to graduate from this program. So the baton is still stuck. That's why you don't see it. That's why it's not in your hands. That's why you ain't Sha'Carri Richardson right now taking flight. That's why. Because it's still stuck with us. Still dealing with all the same issues you're dealing with. The race is not over. The race is still alive and well. The race is still alive and well. That's why. That's why you aren't seeing it. That's why you have all these issues with older black women. That's why. Older black women are still trying to heal themselves and heal each other. And because black women don't value each other and they don't respect each other, there is no healing happening. So there's really actually nothing to give you. No more relays. No more relays. There's nothing to give you. I'll be honest with you about it. There's nothing to give you. If you sitting back wondering why it looks so stupid, why it looks so childish, why it looks so petty, I just explained it to you in a nutshell. There's nothing to give you. What can they give you? What can be given? If they still in a race just like you, what they gonna tell you? And even if they did come to you from a good place, you ain't gonna believe it. Because who believes, once again, who's in competition with them? A race is a competition. A race is a competition. Listen, I really wish from the bottom of my heart I could tell you that there is a baton coming soon. But I don't know about that. And I don't know about that. I don't know. And I can't say when you'll ever receive that baton or when you'll ever be in the mindset due to all of what you've seen and heard to receive the baton. That you will fully deserve. You deserve it. But it's hard to pass back what you're still dwelling in. The deliverance for Black women is sketchy because all of the things we should have graduated from by this age, most of us, if not the majority of us, have not. We're still in a race. So there's actually nothing to give to you worth value. If Black women were to pass back the relay It will be full of pain. It will be a struggle story. It will be a struggle tale that most of us are still partaking in. So there's really actually nothing young Black women to give you. So now you're put in a position to take risk. And whether you trust us or you don't, because the baton is still in a circle jerk amongst the women at the wall. Seriously. So it is pretty difficult to judge when there will be an opportunity for relay. I'm praying that that opportunity comes quick for a lot of Black women. And it's not just about the relay, it's passing back something good, passing peace, passing prosperity, passing tranquility, passing perseverance, agility, abundance, understanding and compassion, nurturing, love, self care, self love, self esteem, confidence, charisma, charm, endurance. We want to pass back the beauty and the joy. But right now, there are no relays because there is absolutely nothing to give. That won't rock and shake you to your core, take you off your path, and extend your race. And unfortunately, what a lot of Black women have done is extend the race. Because just when you think liberation is near, real liberation in your sisterhoods, as a Black woman, a Black man enters the room. And this is Woman Sphere. You guys be easy.